Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. In my quest of finding interesting stories to read to you guys, I take a look at different subreddits. So in this video, we're going to take a look at the subreddit Parenting. This one's from user MeAgain1986. Am I overreacting? Husband can't parent. I, 33 female, left for work at 8 a.m. We have 3 kids, 8 female, 10 male, 11 male. 2 youngest are his from a previous marriage, older is mine from a previous marriage. My husband, 43 male, was off work today and stayed home with all 3. They're at great ages, definitely past the hard days of infancy and restless nights. They do as they're told and simply need guidance and direction. About 10 a.m. I get a text from our girl saying one of the boys is listening to rap with swearing. No biggie, boys will be boys. I text her back to go tell dad and call dad to tighten up his ship. Lol. Not the end of the world at all. 5:30 p.m. comes and I get home. I put my bag down and go upstairs to see all 3 kids staring at their screens and they don't even say hi. Just say, "We've been in here all day, we're so bored." We live in Canada and the weather today was stunning and hot. Their dad did absolutely nothing with them all day. He slept, watched TV in our room with our bedroom door shut. These kids craved engagement. So I change and say to my husband, it's not okay to leave them cooped up in the house all day on a day like today. He says, whatever. I then ask if I can use his car to take them to the park and get some dinner for a picnic. I drive a company marked vehicle and it's small. He has an SUV. He says, no, they make too much of a mess. I say, I can't even borrow your car to take your children to the park and feed them? He says, I'll take my 2, but I don't want all 3 in there. That is the most left field comment of all time. To single out my son? Mama Bear is angry. I bite my tongue, throw on my mom cheer and load the kids into my car and off to Subway and the park. We get to the park and as they're sanitizing their hands to eat, his son says, I'm so hungry, we haven't even eaten today. Dad couldn't even bother to feed them, or even say, go get leftover pizza from the fridge. Nothing, just let them rot in front of their screens all day long. I'm livid, and all my husband could do is act like a child himself. Said over text, whatever, they lived, no big deal. Then sent me #overreact. He's a man in his mid-40s sending me hashtags. Am I overreacting or is this disgustingly lazy? So, based on the evidence, what do you guys think? Do you think OP's husband is lazy or is he doing a good job with the kids? I'm going to save what I have to say after reading the community comments, so let's continue with that. A mid-video PSA. Please don't forget that the goal for this year is to reach 100,000 subscribers. Please help me out and just go ahead and click subscribe if you like these videos and you still haven't subscribed. Now, let's get back to the story. Ty Dollwave says, my dad was like this. I remember being homesick with a fever all day. He slept on the couch across from the one I was laying on. I was about 5. He did not give me an ibuprofen, did not pour me a glass of water, not one crumb of food, not a damn thing. My mom could never leave one of us sick with him again. I suppose I could expect them all to do things like make a PB&J. However, there's no reason he couldn't poke his head out and make sure they were breathing, or shoo them outside, or slap together some grilled cheese for lunch. And then to say, I'll take my 2? What the ever-losing crap is that? How would he like it if you fed your son and not his kids? Not that you ever would. What if you told him, I'm not taking care of your kids today, just my son. Good luck. That would not be acceptable. I am disgusted. I understand they didn't need constant supervision, but you have to feed your kids. You have to make sure they're mainly okay. OP responds, this nailed exactly how I feel. It would have taken about an hour of his time to be a good parent. Get the pizza out of the fridge and eat, and let's go outside for 45 minutes. We live in a condo, so they can't go outside alone. Not a nice neighborhood and no playing area or grass. Very city and very busy. And yes, the comment regarding my son threw me. Not a grown-up comment and very disrespectful. And father says, that is the most left field comment of all time. If you sat down with your son and had a candid, private conversation, would it seem like it was coming out of left field to him? I would not be surprised if he's being singled out. If your husband is willing to say this right to your face, it's extremely likely that he's been communicating it subtly to your son, at the very least. I think you need to have a chat with your son and get some information. OP responds, valid. Fortunately, my son has a counselor we see for some other concerns, medically. So I have emailed the counselor so that they are able to begin this discussion. I would hate to come across to my son as fishing. Also, I like to think my son would confide in me if he felt this type of way. We are very close. But I am not naive that he could hide his feelings to protect me. Definitely an entire situation that pulls at my heart and requires some outside support. Thank you. Mrs. Darkstar says, I don't think you're overreacting. You should be able to count on him. I would make sure he knew how disappointed I was, and if he doesn't care, counseling probably would be the right way to go. Also, totally not cool to act like your son is a problem child. Makes me wonder if he's been treating him that way otherwise. Sad face. Hoping for the best for you. OP responds, I agree. I think that's probably what has hit me the hardest is the sideways comment towards my son, who is the eldest and most well-behaved. They're all great kids, but my son's nearly 12 and has age on his side. So to trash him so easily has me questioning so much more than just today. I am not okay with that. I could have very well just took my son for dinner and the park, but no matter what kind of fight the adults are in, I would never single out his kids. OP, I agree with you. You have every right to be upset. Your husband dropped the ball, either intentionally or unintentionally, but he did not do his duty as a father. Yeah, the kids are older, they're not toddlers anymore, they're easier to manage, but that doesn't mean you just leave them to their own devices and not even feed them, not even come out of the room. That sucks. Now, setting that aside, the really sucky thing that he did was to single out your kid. That's not right to do. I'll take my kids and you take yours? What the hell, man? You guys are supposed to be a family. And that is no way to treat family. But of course, that's just my opinion. So let's move on to the update to see what happened after this. Thank you so much for so many amazing comments. They have allowed me to step back and think constructively. His behavior last night was disgraceful. I set the kids up with a tent on the rooftop deck. It's secure. So they had a very fun night away from the toxic energy inside. This morning, husband asked if he wanted to go to the park. I did not want to be around him, but adult problems are not for children. So I packed them up to go. We all wait by the door as he's strung out over the sofa watching videos. I ask if he's ready. He's the one that told us to get ready. He gets up and heads to the bathroom, so I say we will wait in the car. We of course go to my car as he's made it clear he doesn't want all three kids in the car. He gets into his car and pulls up saying, "Get in." So I state, "I guess we will meet you there." Yes, this was probably petty, but I pull off and stop at the Tim Hortons for lemonades and a much needed coffee. He follows and in the middle of the drive-thru gets out and demands his children get out of the car. His son says, "Dad, why does it matter?" And he says, "It matters to OP," and turns to me and shouts, "What's your attitude?" I take my son through the drive-thru and to a different park. We chat and I apologize for the mess. My son says, "What's his problem? Why is he being so mean?" I repeat how adult problems shouldn't be upon kids and he has the right to be upset, and I'm here for him first. Always. My husband ends up going to his ex's house with the kids and hanging out there while she's at work. This is a huge boundary for me. It's disrespectful to me, to my son, and our family. It is wrong. We've been together 6 years. Him leaving my son out, taking the kids away from him to go to his ex's, taking them out of the car and leaving my son clearly made my son feel singled out. And the comment yesterday about the car is enough. I love my husband, but never will I tolerate this. The trouble, or blessing, with blended families is my husband will never come first. My son does. I choose him and I always will. So I have told my husband he's not welcomed here, to stay away until I can gather myself and make an appropriate time for him to gather his belongings. It is my home. He is not on the title. My husband made a choice today. He walked out, and in the process he hurt myself and, more importantly, my son. There are consequences with that. He will not be allowed back at this time. I need time to process and time to brighten my son's environment. Thanks again for your support. The comments and insight is helpful. I will work on my son's independence, and alongside counseling, we will get through this. OP, good for you for standing up for you and your son. What your husband did is wrong. He tore the family apart. He's the one that decided to single out your son and just take his kids to his ex's house to hang out. Instead of trying to communicate with you and trying to solve whatever problem he was having, he decided to just be mean and disrespectful. And yeah, I totally understand and agree with your decision to not let him walk back in. So OP, at this point, all I'm gonna say is, I wish you and your son have a really nice future without that dude in your life anymore. Take care, OP. And so we've reached the end of the video. I truly hope you guys liked it. If you did, go ahead and click like. Of course, don't forget to subscribe and click that bell icon so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Also, here are more videos from my channel that you might enjoy. And having said all that, I will see you guys on the next video.